BhagavatSanga program. This is our Srimad Bhagavatam program, and today we are starting with a new theme in the prayers from Bhagavatam. This prayer is called King Prthu Maharaj's Prayers to Lord Shri Krishna. This comes in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 20, from the verse 23 to 31. Today we have a very wonderful devotee who will be presenting the verses and the realization. We have His Grace Abhay Charan Prabhu who will be presenting. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you very much. I'm not sharing screen or anything. Basically, I'll just go through the verses and talk a couple of points from Srila Prabhupada's purport. I mean, one thing is, before that, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So the purports are absolutely brilliant, as every other purport I say that. So with that, I'll just read the translation and then talk a couple of points on each one. And let's see if I can make it, how many we can make it. So this is from Canto 4, Chapter 20, verse 23. And before that, maybe I can just give a small brief history of what's happening. This is King Prthu. He's the son of King Vena, who was a very demonic king actually, and he made the earth so uninhabitable, or rather untillable actually. Mother Earth kept all her resources within herself, because she was so disturbed that the non-devotees were actually roaming on the earth, and there was people were plundering others, and there was whole chaos happening. That was because of King Vena. So then the sages, what they did is like they could not tolerate King Vena's bad behavior and bad ruling as a king. So they killed him with a mantra, and then they churned on his bones, and King Prthu was born from King Vena's bones. So King Prthu is a Shaktavaisha avatar, or incarnation of King Lord Vishnu, and he comes to revive the whole kingdom, and also revive. People were suffering like anything because of the bad king. So King Prthu, after having a brief discussion, or rather you can say chastising Mother Earth also for withholding her resources, he then goes on to do 100 yagnas, Ashwamedha yagnas. That is according to, when he does that, that brings auspiciousness to the whole planet and to all the human society in general. So he does that. And after doing 99 Ashwamedha yagnas, Lord Indra actually becomes very envious of King Prthu, because he's afraid if once he does, King Prthu does 100 Ashwamedha yagnas, he will be, he may become greater than King Indra. So he becomes very envious, and he actually starts doing mischief. And what he does, when King Prthu is doing the 100th yagna, he steals the horse so that the yagna cannot go through. So that horse stealing, Indra does it in a very different way. He comes as a sannyas. He takes sannyas form of a sannyasi, and then comes and steals. So that way he's disturbing the whole yagna. So King Prthu's son he was warned by Atri, and then he chastises Indra and brings back, not exactly chastises. When he's about to shoot an arrow, he sees that Indra is in the garb of a sannyasi. So seeing at the sannyasi, he doesn't do anything, but then later on, Indra releases the horse, and Prithu's son brings it back to the arena, to the yagna. So this happens multiple times, and now King Prthu is ready to go and kill Indra himself, because Indra is, by doing this false sannyasi, is actually introducing to the mankind how to be a pseudo religionist, which we see in this Kali Yuga, that there are so many pseudo religionists. So when he does that, he's about to kill Indra. Then Lord Brahma comes and says, "Don't do that, because Indra also is a great personality, and he's also devotee of Lord Vishnu, and he's done some mistakes. So please pardon him." So King Prthu, then Brahma advises that don't worry about completing the 100 yagnas. You have done 99, that's more than enough. So leave it at that. So when he does that, then later on in this chapter, Lord Vishnu appears in the yagna. So, and then he personally appears, and then he brings along with him King Indra, Lord Indra. So in this, then Lord Vishnu tells Prthu Maharaj that it's okay. I mean, don't hold on to that you have to do this and you have to punish Indra. He's also a devotee, but he's done some mistake. So please forgive him. So in that, King Prthu Maharaj is overwhelmed with emotions that he is looking at Lord Vishnu, and he immediately forgives Indra. After that, the Lord gives him a benediction. He says, "You're such a wonderful devotee of mine, and I want to give you benediction." So he says, "You take benediction and live happily." So these prayers are by King Prthu, where he's praying to Lord Vishnu, and he starts with the first verse, which is text number 23, where he says, "My dear Lord, this benedictions that you have given me are material benedictions, actually are useless. I mean, they don't, for a devotee, material benedictions are useless, actually." So that's what he says. And then he says, these material benedictions are available even to people in hellish conditions. What to talk about a devotee? Even hellish condition people are having it. And for a devotee, just engaging in devotional service is all that matters. He has no other reason. Even if you give me merging into your, I mean, you have the potency to give me the benediction of merging into you, but that has got no meaning for me as a devotee, because there is no devotional service. I cannot render service unto you. That is the lotus feet. So I don't have that nectar of your service. So even merging into effulgence I'm not interested in that. So he just wants to engage in the service of the Lord. That is all that he wants. So without, this reminds me of a text from Chaitanya Charitamrita, where he says, "Krishna Bhakta Nishkama Ataiva Shanta Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami Sakaliya Shanta." So he says that Krishna Bhakti is the only thing that actually gives you happiness or peacefulness or actual spiritual happiness. Whether we talk about bhukti, which is material happiness, mukti, which is liberation, or mukti siddhi, or perfection in Gnana Yoga or Ashtanga Yoga. All these are they have no meaning for me. So in that sense, Prthu Maharaj is also quoting the same words, that devotional service is what gives devotees happiness. And then later on in the next text, Prthu Maharaj actually talks about how hearing from the mouth of pure devotees is all that I need. So if you want to give me benediction, so first he rejects material benediction, then he accepts a benediction where he says, "Give me millions of years where I can hear your glories from the mouth of pure devotees." So that's in parallel with what Rupa Goswami also says. I forgot the verse, but Rupa Goswami says that one who actually hears the names of Krishna through the he wants hundreds and millions of tongues, and when those words actually enter our ears, I want millions of ears, so that all those glories I can hear and actually get satisfied. And when those words actually enter my heart becomes stunned, and my senses become stunned with ecstasy. So just by the words, Krishna, the two letters, Krishna. So Prthu Maharaj is also saying that I want millions of years so that I can hear your glories. And when I hear glories from the mouth of pure devotees, they're so powerful that they revive the living entities' dormant Krishna consciousness. They actually revive our lost memory of devotional service. So pure devotee is always engaged in the service of Krishna. It's always going to, and he's always at the shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna. So, and it's very important, he says, that to hear, for a conditioned soul to hear from the mouth of a pure devotee. Because unless a conditioned soul hears from the pure, mouth of a pure devotee, those words, or rather, those words from the pure devotees actually revive the lost consciousness, lost Krishna consciousness, that restores our relationship with Krishna. That's the only way. There is no other way by which we can actually revive. When we hear from the mouth of pure devotee, that's what brings our love for God. So in the next verse, it talks about Uttama Shloka. Krishna, he says, your Uttama Shloka, he refers to Krishna as Uttama Shloka, a person who is glorified by the Uttama, the highest value, words, which are Uttama Shloka. So that is, and with so much of nectar, he just wants to hear. Then later on, he also mentions that only an animal would not be ready to hear. So I was when I was reading that, it was very interesting, because sometimes we feel, sometimes we say, what is say, in fact, all of us say that, I think I have heard too much today. Let me browse or do something else, some material things. So to the extent that we are not interested in hearing about the glories of Krishna, to that extent, we are also not come out of our animal platform. So what to talk about anyone else? Even Lakshmi Devi, who is the goddess of fortune, who is always serving and massaging the feet of the Lord at always, is also very eager to hear from the lotus mouth of the devotees. She's also here, wants to hear the glories of Krishna. And in the next two verses, he also talks about where he's showing, Prthu Maharaj is showing the desire to serve the lotus feet of Krishna. So then he actually compares that Lakshmi Devi is also serving the lotus feet of Krishna. I also want to serve the lotus feet of Krishna. So that he's expressing the desire, and he says that even if there is a competition, actually it's a competition in the sense like I also want to do the same service that other devotee is doing. So that's transcendental competition actually. That is not wrong. It is in fact very advanced. In material life, if we have a competition, that's not good, because that shows envy with each other. But in the spiritual life, it is called transcendental competition, that how I can serve more and more. That. So he says that Mother Lakshmi may be angry with me because I'm taking away her service. But then he says, Krishna, you are Bhakta Vatsala or Dina Vatsala. So you are very kind to your fallen devotees. So you can protect me if Lakshmi Devi is angry. So that's a very transcendental competition. And it's not that Lakshmi Devi is also in Madhurya Rasa, Srila Prabhupada writes. And it's not that he is competing in Madhurya Rasa, which is a loving affairs with the Lord. But he is competing because he's a king, he has that chivalrous quality, the Veera Bhakti, it's called. So he has that desire for competition. So he's competing with Lakshmi also for serving the Lord. And he wants to take assurance from the Lord that you will protect me if Lakshmi Devi is angry with me. So that's very sweet, actually. And later on in the 29th verse, Prthu Maharaj goes on to say that how devotional service is the only way by which our illusions of material existence go. There is no other way, no other way. So devotional service is so powerful. In fact, samsara dhava nallida loka. That dhava, that this material world is like a forest fire. By devotional service, that fire can get extinguished, or the illusion of material existence can go away. And all great devotees are actually serving you. They're actually serving you nicely at your feet. And this verse, and there's a very nice statement that Prthu Maharaj says, Vyudasta Maya Guna Vibramodam Modayam, one who destroys the illusion of material existence. So the prayers, all these prayers, each devotee comes out with a mood in which they pray to Lord Vishnu. In this Prthu Maharaj is talking about how devotional service or Krishna can remove the illusion of material existence, because generally we're all under the illusion of the three modes of nature. We're under the three modes of nature. We think that I am great, or there is nothing more greater than me. That subtly also that feeling is there actually. Even though we have practiced so many times, sometimes even as devotees, we see that there is subtle consciousness where we feel that everything is for me, and whatever I'm doing is right. And that is the reason why Prthu Maharaj says that we have to hear from the mouth of a pure devotee, because pure devotees will actually bring us out of that illusion of material existence. So even liberated devotees are actually doing devotional service. So, and Prthu Maharaj also talks about self-realization is not complete unless it is tinged, or rather unless it is overcoated with bhakti, devotional service. So that is another statement that Prthu Maharaj, or rather Srila Prabhupada, talks about. And in the next verse, 30th verse, it talks about allurements. Since Srila Prabhupada is actually, Lord Vishnu, he is giving benediction. And so in that benediction, he is saying that you are giving, Vedas are also your words, your own words. So they are giving benedictions, and they are actually bewildering people into, alluring people into material consciousness, like karma kanda. They're all there to gradually elevate a person. But for a devotee, that is not at all needed. So Prthu Maharaj is saying by these words of Vedic words and karma kanda, you are alluring me. So he's praying that I don't want to be in that. So in fact, Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita, where he says the three Traigunya Vishaya, the three modes of nature, or the three Vedas, are can mislead a person in one sense. So devotional service is very important. And in the end, Prthu Maharaj actually, I think of all the prayers, I felt this prayer was absolutely wonderful. I'll just read the whole text 31. He says, "My Lord, due to your illusory energy, all living beings in this material world have forgotten their real constitutional position And out of ignorance, they are always desirous of material happiness in the form of society, friendship, and love. Therefore, please do not ask me to take some material benefits from you, but as a father, not waiting for the son's demand, does everything for the benefit of the son, please bestow upon me whatever you think best for me. I felt this is icing on the cake or the perfection, because Krishna has asked him to ask for benediction, and Prthu Maharaj is actually putting the ball in his Lord Vishnu's court itself, saying, "You know better what I have, what I need. You know better what is good for me. Because if you ask me, probably I'll ask for material things. If you ask me, probably I'll ask something which is not good for me in my devotional life. But since you are like a father of a small child who knows what is good for the child, and so you give me whatever you think is right." That, I think, this is some prayer. Maybe we can memorize this prayer. That therefore, please do not ask me to take some material benefits from you, but as a father, not waiting for the son's demand, does everything for the benefit of the son. Please bestow upon me whatever you think best for me. Since Krishna knows what is best for everyone, if we can have this prayer, Krishna, please bestow whatever is best for me, so that I can be in your service, so that I can always render service unto you. Please give me that benediction. That prayer, I think, would be the perfection of our life. Because if we ask, chances are high that it will be tinged with some material consciousness, and we may end up asking something which is materially, and Krishna will give. Krishna, it's not that Krishna won't give, Krishna will bestow. But the problem is, if we get material benefits, then chances are that we may get deviated. So with that, I'll end here. And thank you so much, everyone, for giving me this opportunity and giving me your time to hear. Sorry if I could not do much justice, but these prophets are so nice. I think we all should read multiple times. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. That was such a nectarian class. It was so beautiful hearing. I didn't want you to stop. It was just so beautiful. Prabhu, very nicely you narrated the background of the story. I was hearing it for the first time. It's very nice. And it's also very encouraging and inspiring for us to want to read this chapter and the prayers. Very beautiful. Just the 3 points I noted. It was very nice to know that, the way he praised Prthu Maharaj, that for devotees, devotional service is more important than even merging into the Brahman. So that's a very important point. And for devotees, they want to hear the glories of the Lord from pure devotees, because they can bring them out of the illusory energy of the material existence. And the third point is that what you just said, asking Krishna, you give what is best for me, because Krishna knows what is really good for us. Then we saying something, and then, we may not be right, but Krishna knows what is best. And personally, I've also experienced this in my life, and I can vouch for it that Krishna definitely knows what's best for us.
Definitely. Yes, Madhi, that's true.
Yes, Prabhu. And this was an interesting point that for devotees, devotional service is more important than Vedas. Because
that is true. Sometimes people can get carried away in the Vedas. So vast. So we have Kalpataru, Bhagavatam to give us the right direction.
True, Prabhu. Great point. Yeah. Thank you very much, Prabhu. That was very wonderful.
Thank you.
Vaman Hari Prabhu, you have a question or?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Abhay Charan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna,
you mentioned in your talk about liberation and pure devotional service. Pure devotional service starts after liberation, or it comes as part of liberation, comes as a part of the pure devotional service?
Prabhu, you have answered yes. Wonderful point. Actually, you brought. Thanks for bringing that. But yeah, it's just a byproduct. It's not even devotees don't even consider much. They need that, but it's just liberation is just a byproduct. But actual devotion, when once we consciously we get liberated from the three modes of nature, we can relish devotional service much better. Right now we are in just a sort of practice, sort of, we can say. Actual devotion service we have not even started. Thanks, Sada, for bringing that point.
Thank you.
Sarvu?
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhu. That was a very nice question. And thank you, Prabhu, for the answer. Devotees, please sign up for BhagavatSanga program. We have slots open. Please contact Prashant Prabhu. Prashant Prabhu is coordinating the slots. Please sign up for it. With that, thank you all for joining the BhagavatSanga program today. We will see you all next week. Hare Krishna.
One thing, Prabhuji.